Good morning, welcome back to the channel. As you can tell, we have sun. Don't ignore that. That's, yeah. I feel like I'm doing dishes 3 times a day. And we don't even have children in our home yet. However, I do have an update on that. Yay! Okay, so our home study was on Tuesday, and I'm sorry that I did not, we need some light. I'm sorry that I did not film before or after. It's been insane. I'm walking in the room that is officially done, and I cannot wait to show you guys. Okay, so here is Sean's, and now kind of my workstation. It is completely clean, and we have our bins right here, like my arts and crafts things there. Sorry, let me turn my camera over. Arts and crafts bins and other things organized, whatnot. But as you can tell, there is so much room. And these are things that we've had for years, like tools that we've purchased over time. This is all my filing that I do. And then these are arts and crafts that we've done with our kids in the past, and then I just kind of collect over time, and I just keep it right here. So that way we can come over to the breakfast room table. But this whole area has changed here because in that corner right there, I had all of my Etsy supplies, which are now over, well, it's organized in different bins and shelves and whatnot. But I mean, and that's actually where I sit now. So this is my laptop, and this is basically where I sit, and then that's Sean's computer area there. That's where he sits, and this is Atlas's little crate that we need to redo that pillow or just get a new one. And then this is our keyboard that we like to tinker on. And our breakfast room table, and of course I did keep this in the corner because, I mean, we did use this, and I mean, we can actually get our tarp on rainy days and put it here now that we have extra room, or we could also put it in there. But I just decided to keep it there because it really doesn't mess with the flow. We've kind of moved some of the chairs around, but now it's like, as you can tell, like there is so much room. Well, of course I gotta move this chair in. I mean, this is like, we didn't even, oh my gosh, we didn't even have this. This is amazing. And of course you just squeeze over here. So yeah, you can now walk all the way around the table. This is insane. So very, very exciting. But this is now our officially clean, organized Marie Kondo from Netflix style home, or at least downstairs. Okay, so basically that's our home. The only other thing that we've changed is we have a kitty corner over here, and those toys have been cleaned out. So we have a few things in there for the age range that we're licensing for. We have also, let me kind of turn the camera around here. We've also kind of spruced up this area. I know it looks like a mess, but this is like things that are easily grabbable, usable, and whatnot. But I think you kind of see all the different things. So, you know, all of these toys that we've tried to clean out and reorganize, they're geared towards the ages that we're licensed for, which is 4 to 12. But now that the home study is actually done, we have to wait a whole month, probably longer. I wouldn't be surprised. But we have to wait a month before we hear what our next stage is, or what the next stage is. I do remember, and I'm sorry, my hair is kind of crazy. I do remember the caseworker who did the original walkthrough, which we thought was the home study, but it was just the walkthrough. She said that once the home study is processed and approved, and they've been able to, basically do whatever they needed to do. Then that person will come walk through our home again. And then after that, I think it's just a matter of more processing, just finalizing any additional paperwork, anything else we would need. And then I guess that's when they would approve us. So at this point, we're kind of on the schedule that I was anticipating, because I think I told you guys that we would probably be, I thought, and I think still, I think we're probably going to be approved by May or June. So we'll see if I'm correct. Like I said, I really just don't see this happening any sooner, because now that we are like in the middle of March, essentially, I mean, yeah, by the time we get to the next stage, it'll be in the middle towards the end of April. So yeah, sorry, I'm trying to like put all of our hard-boiled eggs in the refrigerator. But it's so funny. We were so relaxed during this home study, but I still get nervous during this waiting period. So, I'm always nervous, even though it was a lot more enjoyable. We were like, this was how relaxed we were. We were actually eating meals in front of this person. Which before we were always so nervous, we could just never do that. Excuse me, I'm actually going to have some of my homemade berry smoothie, dairy-free berry smoothie. So, I've already had breakfast, but I have a really big sweet tooth this morning, and since I'm trying to change some of the carbs that I eat, instead of having toast or things like that, I'm trying to change it with certain fruits and whatnot. So I can't go full keto like my husband. He's amazing. He is amazing with this. So I just say I'm on a low carb diet. So my results are going to be different than his. He's losing weight and looking great and everything. And I also have coffee. Mm-hmm. Which there's some that kind of streamed down, so I made a mess earlier. So now that we are waiting, what do we do for the month that we're basically waiting for our home study to be approved, and whatnot? So during this month, what we do and what I do for our home is, so this weekend we're going to be wrapping up interviews with the last couple of prospect babysitters. We have decided to certify 4 different people for our home. Does that mean we're going to have 4 people working for our home all the time, every day? No. 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 We've learned so many different things along this journey. As foster and adoptive parents, if you talk to anybody who is, and of course you're watching my channel, so obviously you're coming to hear some advice. Many of us learn different things along the way. Many of us, we make mistakes, and we try to learn from the mistakes. We try to learn what works for us. Because Sean and I are the type of couple that both of us have to work to pay our bills just to make this home function. We have to have care, come into our home and help us. We are going to be utilizing daycare, but we learned a lot last year when we first used a babysitter for our home, because the times before we didn't have a babysitter, and it wasn't because we didn't want to, it was because there were a lot of circumstances that, we didn't have a time frame, a clear time frame of when to start doing this. So when we had our babysitter help us last year, it was very, very helpful. We still required additional help from family and whatnot to just kind of help us function with 3 kids placed in our home. But what we realized was one babysitter wasn't sufficient in our home and in our situation, because when the current babysitter needed a day off, when she was sick or something happened in her personal life, that's not bad, that's not wrong, we didn't have a backup. And then we didn't, life happened on our end. Sean got sick and the girls got sick and it was crazy town. And so one of the things that Sean and I talked about afterward was, we felt it was important to try to certify as many people as possible, like at least 3 to 4 actual babysitters, so that, and what our plan is although we're going to have daycare for really after school, we don't really have to do before school right now because I don't work those kind of hours and where I need to drop them off in the morning. Maybe in the summertime when my hours change like they usually do. But because we'll still have daycare, one of the things that we need a babysitter for is sometimes we need them in the evening. Sometimes Sean has to travel on his job. Sometimes I might have school. Sometimes I might have to work late. And it's helpful to have that person there who comes in for maybe 2 hours and just helps with the transition of dinner time, bath time, and bedtime. And it's just really nice to have that person. So, but we can't rely solely on one person. So we need to have a few people who are certified for the home who can come in. So they've had a background check, they've had FBI fingerprints done, which is very common for all foster parents. At least here in Texas, we have to do that. They have to be CPR first aid certified. And according to CPS, Child Protective Services, they need to have at least 6 months or more of child care experience. So, and it's been hard interviewing because one of the things that I have to really emphasize with people that I'm interviewing is trying to understand if they would be a good fit in coming into our home and helping us take care of these children who are coming from hard places. Because, a person can have child care experience, but that doesn't mean that they have experience with the nuances of trauma, the effects of trauma, PTSD, sensory process disorder, and really intense ADHD or ADD. These things really do take a toll, and they do cause a lot of effects that I think can be hard and challenging. It's not impossible to take care of these children in these situations, but you want to make sure you can find people who can, who are willing and open-minded to learn and to train and to be willing to work with you as a team. So at this point, that's what we're doing. We're wrapping up interviews. We're going to start submitting all of their paperwork to get them certified. Which really, that's not a whole lot of work on our end. Once we get their paperwork submitted, they'll receive their information to go get the FBI fingerprints done. And then, of course, we make sure we have all of that documentation on our end. Other than that, basically, we're just every week going to be kind of replenishing certain things. I have to replenish some of the items that we did give away at the last placement, such as like hair pieces and different little accessories, extra bows, headbands, but extra brushes and combs, detangle sprays, styling gels, and things like that. These are very small things. And what we kind of do, since we know we have a month until the next, walkthrough or meeting that we have to have, we just every week spend about maybe $15, $20 at Walmart, Target, or any grocery store, and just kind of get a few items at a time. Just kind of implement it into our groceries. And just start kind of getting things ready to go. There's a couple of bath toys that I want to get for the bathroom. There's also, we need to get our buttons and our button jars for the reward system. I probably need to spruce up the reward box a little bit. So these do not happen all at once. This is not like a all-in-one shopping cost spree. Like I said, we have to space this out over time because there's a lot of hidden fees and costs that happen when you're becoming licensed. And so that's just something to keep in mind. But one of the things that I appreciate is, you know, when you have a clear timeline, it helps you as a family or you as a couple know how to, you know, utilize your time and your preparation. And so preparing your home, preparing your life, getting things ready, because when you get that phone call, everything changes. You don't know if that's the phone call that's going to change your life forever. So I hope this was helpful for you today. I'm sorry if I did ramble a little bit. It's early in the morning. I'm a little bit scatterbrained. But thank you so much for coming along and watching our video. I don't really have anything else to share, so I think this is my only video for the week, so I'm really sorry about that, guys. But I will tell you this, as things continue to progress, especially once we go, especially in a month, when we get closer to the finalization and we start getting phone calls, things are going to get very interesting. I'd really love for you guys to experience a placement phone call, but that can be tricky because there's a lot of information that's confidential. So I will do the very best I can. I cannot promise anything, but I will do the very best I can to try to pre-record a conversation that we've had with, you know, like a placement call, and try to edit it the best that I can so that it doesn't cause any problems, but you guys can kind of get a general feel about what that's like. And so for many of you who are licensing right now, you know, this can kind of give you guys something to understand and to look forward to. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming along. I will see you guys next time. Bye.